Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and today I want to show you how to cut mica sheets. So I have an example of use right here. Here's a project I did, and I made like a little collage assemblage piece sandwiched between two sheets of mica. Now mica is a thin rock that comes in layers. I'm going to show you how it'll arrive. You're going to have irregular size sheets, and depending upon the size you order will be how large your sheets are. And you can see it actually feels like an old cracked plastic or glass, which has a great vintage feel to it. There's even little specks on it here and there. And there is going to be some color variation. I'm going to lay it out here on the table for you, and you can see these are not all the same color. Again, adding to that real vintage feel to it. And like I said, it is a rock and it comes in thin layers, so you can actually take your fingernail and pull it apart. And there's multiple layers here, so you can keep pulling it apart. Have really thin layers or really thick ones. So if you want to cut it, let's say you're doing a piece like this where you want to cut it to a certain size, a couple different ways you can go about it. I'm going to focus on one piece right here. I have a pair of metal shears right here, and you can cut it just like you're cutting a piece of paper. And you'll notice that when you do cut it, it does splinter a little bit. That's just a normal side effect once you cut it. And you'll notice that the piece you cut off, the smaller piece, actually has less of those striations as the main solid piece. So if you don't have a pair of metal shears around, you can actually just take a pair of scissors. I would not use your good sewing scissors though. Use a craft scissor, and you can cut it just as easily. But let's say you want to have a round shape. Perhaps you want to apply a jump ring to this or something. I have a pair of metal hole punch pliers right here, and you can just sandwich the mica sheet in between your pliers, grasp it, and just punch. There you go. You'll see that created a nice clean punch. But let's say you want a punch a little bit larger than that. What you're going to want to do is take a disc cutter. I happen to have one right here. I'm going to cut a hole, which is 9/16 of an inch. So I'm removing all the other punches. Going to place my mica sheet into the little slot right here. Okay, replace the punch. You're going to want to use safety goggles if you're doing this. And I've got a 1 pound brass hammer, and I'm going to do one clean whack. Then we'll see on the other side, we have a perfectly round shape of mica, which has been cut out of there. Or maybe you want to use the sheet it was cut out of and have a hole for one of your mixed media projects. So those are just several of the ways to cut mica sheets, and now you can use those cut pieces and incorporate them into all your mixed media and assemblage pieces.